Are we live?
You're live.
Hey,
We're live.
We're live. Good.
I don't feel
alive. We're alive. Good morning, everyone. It is Saturday morning, the day before Easter. It is LTS time, live training session for those people that are brand new to what we do. We're going to do a couple different demos today. Dad's going to do the first one, and then he'll slide out, and I'll get in there and do mine. Just a reminder for anybody that hasn't seen us before on the LTSs. I think if I remember right, is this right, babe? That we only have 30-minute broadcasts. So at 30 minutes, we'll let you know when that comes up. Then we'll have to get out and come back in and start a second broadcast within. Generally, I think last time it only took us a minute or two to get back up and running. So the other thing is, if you have technical difficulties, if you can't, if you've got a black screen or whatever, what seems to be working for people is get out of Facebook, close it down, and come back in, and hopefully that will work for you. So we got people starting to log in. Okay, cool. The door's going to about fly open here in a second. The wind's blowing like crazy here this morning. All right, so Dad, do you want any initial remarks here?
No, I've had a few questions over the years. I've had questions about this. When I'm doing outset letters, they want to know how I get a sharp point, like on the middle of the A. And I'm just going to demonstrate that, just a quick demonstration. I'll show you how I lift the router out and get a sharp point on the inside.
You got a bunch of people again. Tell them again to go out and come back in.
Lots of technical.
Yeah.
So if you just came in and you're having issues with it, I think some people are not having any. But what seems to be working, if you got a black screen or no audio or whatever, get out of Facebook and then come back in. Close Facebook down and come back in, and that might clear it up. It seems to have worked for some people. So all right, well then I'll get out of the way and let you make some sawdust with it. All right.
Take me a minute or two to get set up here. Since this is live, that's what it is. This is just a little rubberized mat to keep the board from slipping. And this is the board. This is what I'll be cutting. I'm going to do these. I'm going to profile around these, and these sharp inside corners that you see. That's what I'm going to do. So let me start off.
There's the door.
I'll get it.
I think the door just blew open.
It did.
Anytime I'm doing letters, I like to draw a line top and bottom. I'm not going to do any background cleanup on this. I'm just going to do a real quick demonstration here and show you how I do these. I get this router all plugged in.
I think so.
And I'm going to set this depth to about 180,000, maybe 200,000. It doesn't really matter. Now, can you zoom in on this? I'm using our regular profile bit, the one that I designed just for profiling the letters. Now you can see, I'm going to put that down just a tad more, tad deeper. Now you can see I'm in the center of that A. Have you got that big? Alright, now, when I do this, because the router bit is round, I'll show you what I'm doing. Now, because the router bit is round, you see that there's a radius all the way around. But if I want that A to be sharp, then you just get into that corner and you move it as you pick it up. I'll do this one over here so you can see again what I'm doing. you get to the top, you just pick it up and move your router just a little bit. And you'll be able to, can you zoom in on those
I
A's?
done.
Okay, now you can see right here, you can see how when I picked up on it and moved it out, it left a sharp corner. It'll do the same thing on the forward, it'll do the same thing on any inside corner that you've got like that. So that's all I wanted to do, and it'll be the same on the end. I'll go ahead and do an end.
So can you explain, because on the camera, Dad, because I'm kind of watching here.
Yeah.
Can you explain actually what you're doing with the router when you're doing that? Because when we're zooming in, it
Sure.
doesn't really show what the router base is doing, even if you can do it without the.
Yeah, I'll do it without turning it
Yeah.
on. So what I'm doing is I'm picking up on it as I move it. For instance, over here, as I move it, I'm picking up on it so that the router bit leaves a sharp inside corner. I'll do this part of this end so you'll see it again. Now this again is an inside corner because I'm profiling the outside. But as I move it up, I tilt the router and I lift it up so that it leaves a sharp. You don't necessarily need to always do this, but if you know how to do it, sometimes it'll help on some of the stuff that you're doing, whether it's letters or whether it's graphics. A lot of times on graphics, that is where you're doing pictures, you'll need a sharp inside, and that's how you do it. Is you just move your router, and as you pick it up, you tilt it, and the router bit comes up like that and just makes it to a point, and that's
you're
literally all there is to it. That's all I wanted to.
Yeah. So you're in essence you're leaving the back edge of the router base in place and then lifting the front edge of it up. Correct?
Exactly right, son. So the back edge of the router base stays on the board, and as I move it, I just slowly tip it up. And that's the nice thing about this base, it's got the handles on it, and most of the routers do. But as you move it, you leave the back of the base, you leave that solid on the board, and you just pick it up, and you can see where it's cutting. But that's the way you make a nice sharp inside corner, whether you're on a letter or whether you're doing flowers or some picture graphics, cartoons, whatever you're doing. Sometimes it really helps bring out the detail of the graphic that you're doing. So that's how you do it. I've had a few questions on that, so I just wanted to do a short video and show you how I do that.
That was great. Yeah.
Okay.
And by the way, you can also do it the opposite way. So with your bit up and bring it down.
You
You know what I mean? And in some cases that might work out. So rather than
you can start outside, up off of the sign. For instance, I'll do a quick one and do that. So you can start off of with your router bit outside of the board and start right. Have you got a view on that, Ricky? So you can just do the same thing by that. You just drop into it. I find it's a lot easier doing it the way I showed before. But if you wanted to do it that way,
yeah.
certainly it's possible.
And I've done it both ways.
Yeah.
Some people may feel more comfortable starting out and coming down that way. Just try it both ways and see what you
try
like.
it both ways and see what works. I like it where I'm down in there and I pull it out, and that way I know I'm not making a mistake. Play around with it and practice and make it your way.
Okay.
Okay. Now, you coming back in here?
Yeah, I'm going to slide in. You go ahead and.
All right, I'm going to move this stuff out of the way.
I'm going to need that right where it is. That you can leave that right.
I'll leave that router right where it is.
That's a pretty good idea. I heard it somewhere.
All right, I'll leave the pad on there.
That's good too. Yep.
Okay.
All right. So I'll get in here.
Oh, you might remind him again about the. Well, not yet, but I'll tell you.
The 30-minute thingy. Okay,
Right.
all right. So here's what I'm going to do, guys. Mine's going to involve several different steps, and I'll just take it one step at a time. I was going to kind of explain it ahead of time, but I don't think I will. So what I'm going to do is I am just going to do some real quick layout here. Can I borrow that pencil there?
No. Oh,
All right.
I get you.
Thank you. I'm not doing a whole lot of measuring or anything here, guys. I'm just going to do some real quick layout. And this is a piece of the cedar fencing that we use. And I'm going to just do a little demonstration on something that I've never really showed on camera before. Lay that out real quick. So this is the primer that we use. Oh, it's too high. This is nothing different here, just the primer that we use. All right, get that out of the way. I hear one of the pigs outside. Can hear us talking in here. For those of you that don't know, we have potbelly pigs that roam around.
Toot and snort.
Toot and snort. All right, so let's just. That's still a little bit wet, but that's all right. It'll work for my purposes. It'll be dry here in a few more seconds. Now the dogs are fighting. We'll get that out of the way. All right, so I'm just going to do some profiling here real quick. Should be just about set up. And not quite deep enough.
Good morning, Aunt Mary.
Hi, Aunt Mary. So that's nothing new. You guys have seen me do that before. Let me grab my other routers here. Dad, if you would, can you plug this in for me? There goes the door again. Perfect. So now I'm going to do, that was the profile bit. Now I'm going to do the cleanup or the background. Uh-oh.
Sorry, guys.
That slipped right off the, oh, the whole thing
Yeah.
fell forward. Sorry about that. Hope nobody got a
Brain damage.
a brain concussion from that.
My bad. I'm sorry, guys.
Even if we could edit, we couldn't in this. Even if we did edit, we couldn't in this instance. All right.
Go ahead.
You with me?
Yep. Something said
Uh-oh. now, you guys have all seen me do this many times, me and Dad, but this may look familiar to you. Let's assume this might happen. Ooh. That could be a problem. So, what?
I don't know, that was just funny.
You didn't expect that, did you?
Hold it up so we can see your big oops.
Yeah, we got a problem with our T there. So, for those of you that looked familiar, I haven't done that unintentionally for quite a while. So, here's what we do. You guys have often asked, how do we repair things? Here's one option for you. Here's what I'm going to do. Dad, you want to take that out of my way for me? Thank you. I am going to attempt to repair that. We'll see if I can pull it off. Can you plug that one in? You can unplug one of the others because I'm done with those. Well, I'm going to need the profile bit again. But so here's what I have. I have our standard spiral bit in here. Cuts a really nice flat bottom. I think I've got it probably a little bit too deep, but I am going to fix that real quick. And here's what I'm going to do. And I'm doing this a little bit faster than I normally would, guys, for time's sake. We now have a flat area, and I think this block.
Hold it up so we can see the flat. Okay.
And I think this block is probably not quite the right size, but this is a piece of material that I just cut off and kind of sanded it down and thought it was about the right size. It's not really the right size, but it doesn't need to be. I just wanted you guys to see. This is much thicker. It's probably about a ½ inch thick, something like that, maybe 3/8. It's much thicker. So what I would do is I would take this over to my sander, my disc sander, and I would mold this block down to fit in there exactly. Okay? I'm not going to do that now because we don't have room for the sander, but here's what we're going to do. Yesterday, I did exactly the same thing. And then I used glue. I used regular white glue, white Gorilla Glue, and I put it on clamps. So this has been on the clamps since yesterday. Now, so this is almost like a cooking show. You put a cake in the oven and then pull it out and it's all done. So,
set it and forget it.
yeah, just like that. So there's basically my glued up version. You can see I've got some drips and stuff on there, and I'll probably take care of those with my pocket knife or whatever. Now, what I need to do.
We're at 20 minutes.
We're at 20 minutes? Now we're doing good. We're doing good. So I am gonna now, being as that block is up quite a ways out of the way. You want to take that for me, Dad? You can unplug it if you would. Put this over here. Clamp my sanding board down so it doesn't fly around. Bear with us, guys. There's just a lot of details. There's a lot of operations here So that's why I haven't done this before, is because I had to try and figure out how to do it and get it all on one video, because there's just a lot here. You gonna be able to get that, babe? Is this still centered? Thank you, Dad.
When you're ready.
Huh?
Will be when you're ready.
All right, so I just got my rough belt on here. I'm just going to try and take this down, hopefully, down to level. Thank you. Now, I'm just going to lay that right back where it goes. Just eyeball that. And just from that point, I'll just start over. And then once that thing is all I've got the profile bit down there ready to go down.
Yep.
Excellent. You know what? I'll just carve right on top of this sanding board. I can do that. Is that awkward silence I feel, or is it just? Hope you guys aren't losing me here.
Nope.
Everybody still with me?
Yep.
All right. So now we're going to give this another shot. See if we can do this without messing it up.
Thank you.
Huh?
I'm going to bless you.
Oh. If you guys noticed right there, I was going this way and it got caught on the router base. You notice that I just picked it up and went from here. That was just another thing. Always be expecting the unexpected, guys. You just never know when a chip is going to get caught in there and your router base is going to catch on it. You know, I just am used to having complete control on the router at all times, or trying to, and I almost expect that to happen all the time. Are we plugged in here? I think we are. So we'll just do our background now. Nope, we're not plugged in. What a mass of wires. I'm glad you guys can't see off camera here. Dad hasn't moved this fast in like a long time. Thank you, Dad. Now, we'll proceed just like we normally would. Now, I see, actually, that's not too bad. Most of that glue, that overdone glue, mostly came out with the router. Although, I don't like the looks at the top of that T. I'm going to straighten that out. Here's another little tip, guys. When you're carving, I'm sorry, did I mess you up there?
No, but you're at almost 26 minutes.
Okay, that'll be perfect because I should be able to kind of wrap this part of it up. When you're carving like this and you're on this side of the board, you can see that top line, but you can't see it like you can here. So what I suggest, and I've suggested this before, if you want that to look a little bit better and you didn't get it quite right, you're still better off on the outside of the line. You can turn it around, or if you've got room, you can even bring it down this way, and now I can perfectly see that line. And now I've straightened out that T. So, I guess one of the things that you want to think of is, does it really make sense? Is it worthwhile to do this kind of a repair on a small sign? For me, in most cases, I would have just started over if it's a small sign. If it's a big sign, then this particular technique may really help you out. If you wipe out the edge of a letter or an apostrophe.
Or if it's misspelled.
Or if it's misspelled, exactly. That's true. Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, so I'm going to spray it and sand it off. So we're going to spray it. 27 minutes now? Okay. I'm going to spray it and sand it off. So I wonder, can we end it now?
Yeah.
Why don't we do that? Why don't we, so guys, I just sprayed it. We're gonna, huh?
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, you should be able to end broadcast and then just start another.
It says finish, so.
It's finished?
No, down here is a finish button, so I guess that's.
We're still learning this, guys, so hang with us. What we're gonna do is we're gonna let this dry, we're gonna shut down this broadcast, and then we're gonna start again immediately. So, stay with us, guys. You might want to, I don't know, close your Facebook and come back in. So we'll be back in just a few minutes.